The Trojan War, the War of Legends. The Trojan War is one of the oldest and most famous war stories in human history. Fought around 1200 BCE, this war became legendary through Greek epics like the Iliad by Homer. According to legend, the war began when Paris, a prince of Troy, kidnapped Helen, the queen of Sparta. This single act triggered a massive war between the Greeks and the city of Troy. For 10 long years, both sides fought fiercely, with heroes like Achilles, Hector, and Odysseus becoming immortal in history. The war finally ended with the famous Trojan Horse, a brilliant act of deception. Greek soldiers hid inside a giant wooden horse, tricked the Trojans into bringing it inside the city, and destroyed Troy from within. It changed history. The Trojan War shaped Greek culture, literature, military strategy, and storytelling for thousands of years. It taught the world the power of intelligence over strength and left behind lessons about pride, fate, and human weakness. 2. The Battle of Marathon, birth of democracy's defense in 490 BCE. The mighty Persian Empire attempted to invade Greece. One of the most decisive moments came at the Battle of Marathon, where a small Greek force faced a much larger Persian army. Against all odds, the Greek soldiers, especially the Athenians, defeated the Persians through discipline, unity, and superior tactics. This victory stopped Persian expansion into Greece. A messenger famously ran from Marathon to Athens to announce the victory, inspiring the modern marathon race. Why it changed history? If Greece had fallen, democracy might never have survived. This battle protected Greek independence, allowing democracy, philosophy, and science to flourish, ideas that still shape modern civilization. 3. Alexander the Great's conquests. One man changed the world. Alexander the Great is one of history's most extraordinary military leaders. By the age of 30, he had created one of the largest empires the world had ever seen, stretching from Greece to India. His wars included famous battles like Gaugamela, where he defeated the Persian king Darius III, despite being heavily outnumbered. Alexander's army used speed, intelligence, and coordination rather than brute force. Why it changed history? Alexander spread Greek culture, language, and ideas across 3 continents. This created the Hellenistic world, blending Eastern and Western civilizations. Even today, philosophy, art, and science reflect his influence. The Punic Wars 264–146 BCE were a series of brutal wars between Rome and Carthage, 2 of the most powerful civilizations of the ancient world. The most famous figure from these wars is Hannibal, a Carthaginian general who marched his army, including war elephants, across the Alps to attack Rome. His tactics terrified Roman forces and remain studied in military academies today. Despite early defeats, Rome eventually destroyed Carthage completely. Why it changed history? Rome's victory made it the dominant power of the Mediterranean. This laid the foundation for the Roman Empire, which influenced law, language, architecture, and governance across Europe and beyond. 5. The Battle of Tours, a turning point for Europe. In 732 CE, Muslim forces advancing into Europe faced the Frankish army, led by Charles Martel, at the Battle of Tours, also called Poitiers. This battle stopped further expansion into Western Europe. It was not just a military clash, but a turning point in cultural and religious history. Why it changed history? The battle shaped Europe's future religious and political identity. It allowed European kingdoms to develop independently and laid groundwork for the rise of medieval Europe. Wars of faith and power. The Crusades were a series of religious wars fought between Christians and Muslims from the 11th to the 13th century. Millions of people were affected, and entire regions were reshaped. Cities like Jerusalem, Antioch, and Constantinople became central battlegrounds. While religion was the driving force, political power, land, and wealth also played major roles. Why it changed history? The Crusades connected East and West through trade, knowledge, and cultural exchange. They introduced Europe to advanced medicine, science, and philosophy from the Muslim world, helping spark the European Renaissance. Invasions. The most feared warriors under Genghis Khan, the Mongols created the largest land empire in history. Their armies moved with incredible speed, discipline, and brutality. They conquered vast territories across Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. Cities that resisted were often destroyed completely. Why it changed history. Despite their violence, the Mongols connected the world through trade routes like the Silk Road. They allowed ideas, technologies, and cultures to spread across continents, accelerating globalization centuries before the modern era. Rise of Nations. The Hundred Years' War, 1337 to 1453, was fought between England and France. It wasn't continuous fighting, but a series of conflicts that changed warfare forever. New weapons like the longbow and later gunpowder made armored knights less effective. Figures like Joan of Arc became symbols of national pride and resistance. Why it changed history. This war helped create strong national identities in England and France. 9. End of an era in 1453. The Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II captured Constantinople, ending the Byzantine Empire that had lasted over 1,000 years. Using massive cannons and advanced siege tactics, the Ottomans broke through walls once considered impossible to penetrate. Why it changed history? The fall of Constantinople marked the end of the Middle Ages and the beginning of the modern age. It shifted global trade routes and pushed Europe toward exploration, leading to the Age of Discovery. 10. The Battle of Waterloo. The fall of Napoleon in 1815. Napoleon Bonaparte faced a coalition of European powers at the Battle of Waterloo. His defeat ended decades of war across Europe. Napoleon had revolutionized warfare with mass armies and rapid movement, but at Waterloo, coordination between British and Prussian forces brought his reign to an end. It changed history. The battle reshaped Europe's political map and led to a period of relative peace. It also influenced modern military organization and leadership. Conclusion. Old war stories are more than just tales of battles. They are lessons written in blood, courage, and sacrifice. These wars shaped nations, defined cultures, and influenced the world we live in today. Understanding them helps us understand ourselves. History teaches us that while war can destroy, it can also give birth to new ideas, systems, and civilizations. By remembering these stories, we honor the past and learn how to build a better future.